Hello and welcome everyone to This Week on Magnet Marketers. Today we're going to be talking about live streaming video and what your business needs to know. I'm one of your hosts here. I'm Jessica Phillips with Now Marketing Group and the Relationship Marketing System, here to help you grow repeat referral businesses online. And one of my awesome co-hosts, Mike Gingrich with Digital Hill, Tapsite, and the Halftime Mike podcast. He also lives and breathes by the philosophy of always being uncommon and always adding value. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, doing well and excited to be here again this week.
Yeah. So live video, it's almost everywhere besides Pokemon right now. It seems to be that is the buzz topic and has been the buzz topic for, I would say, about the past year almost. That just live streaming just keeps evolving, new platforms rolling out to produce live video, and just video on demand, still seeing an increase for the created videos that you can watch at any time. So very, very important for businesses to kind of stay ahead and stay current with where video is going.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really evolved in the past year, and like you said, I think a year. I mean, the things were starting when Meerkat came out, March 2015, kind of thing. Periscope, April 2015, but you really had an acceleration, in the past 8 months. So you think of late last fall, things like that. And then there was a real acceleration. And then definitely it just became, I think, mainstream when Facebook opened the doors for it. So it's a real shift there when you have the largest social media network, on the planet, with the activities involved on Facebook kind of jump in full force. And I mean full force because, first they started last fall with, what was it?
Mentions.
Yes, mentions, and the accounts for, you had to have a certified account, and if you were like a celebrity and some sports teams, that type of thing. But then, what was it, earlier this year when they rolled it out to the masses on profiles, on pages, right, and then later even on groups, so that's really changed the game when you have that many people on Facebook, that many activities on Facebook, people consuming video, and now you make live video available.
Exactly. And even though it's not technically live video, but Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, all of those tools and social platforms that were first content, and then, you wanted to do images mixed in, have all introduced and embraced video and increased even the time that you can spend recording the video and publishing it there and how it's consumed. So everyone has video on the brain, literally.
Yeah. And it's, the challenge for adoption has always been, number one, is it going to be easy? And so things with the mobile phone, with the apps, and just be able to click a button, particularly with someone like Facebook there now, they've just really lowered that threshold, and that's just a powerful thing.
Yeah, and you mentioned mentions, which it was for celebrities first. So I think the conception of video, when you mention easy, is that people used to think that you had to hire out these actors or actresses and be some sort of entertainer to be on the screen, right? And rolling it out, mentions to the celebrities kind of said that in some fashion as well, that you still had to have this entertainment level in order to be comfortable in front of the video. But now I've seen it just evolve with just brands and the people behind the brands coming forefront to do video and embracing it. And you're getting connected faster to all of these companies. So it's a shift, because also, like you said, it's a click of the button, it's on your phone. Previously with video, it was you had to have this huge, production come in. There's lighting and there's, professional cameras, and then you'd have to wait weeks to get your video back and then edit it some more and add this background music. And it was a lot.
Yep.
But if now it's instant, it's go with just a click of the button.
Right. And you think of some examples, and this is, outside the business realm, but it almost like, created a career for her. But, you know, Chewbacca mom, you think of her?
Yeah, still. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
look at that. They're just live
144. Was that 144 million?
million.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it was just her, you know, having fun, just being real, you
Yes.
know, in an everyday moment,
Yep.
and changed her world forever.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly she's got a voice. She can go on and people just stream in to see what she's got to say. You know, she's been to Facebook, to what was it? The headquarters, is it Hasbro that makes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you know, she was in New York City, and I mean, it's been crazy. And you know, now she's doing news. I mean, she's outside Dallas, Texas, so she's sharing her thoughts on, you know,
I
the
seen that video
tragedy that occurred there, and
beautiful. Yeah,
it's created it's launched her. So that's you know, not technically an existing business that involved, but you know, she is an entity now. I mean, you know, Chewbacca mom. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, think of that too with what's happened in Dallas. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the situations that are happening, but now everyone is a content marketer in some fashion.
Yes.
You know, we didn't have to wait until the 11 o'clock news or the tomorrow's paper to come out to find out about things, because it was being live streamed right there. Different perspectives, no media twist or whatever. You got the raw version of everything that's happening right here and now.
Yeah.
And everyone is a media producer if they want to be.
Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable there. But that's the reality of our world today, and there's benefits and there's values in that. Just like you said, there's no spin then, and it's and you get to see live and people like that no filter, true, this is it kind of thing. And so but that is something for a business to adjust to if we take it down that route. Then that businesses have to. We're used to campaigns and
polished.
Polished. I think that's great term for it. And so this, you know, changes that, shifts that, and that can be a hurdle that you have to take that step to move forward into that with live video.
Yes. So a couple stats with live video for businesses is, first, you need to pay attention to video. It's here, it's everywhere. And before, where people weren't able to afford the video production or afford the content marketers to tell and spin the story, to afford the brand celebrities or the paid actresses and actors to act it out, now can just do it independently for free on demand at any time and put it out there. And they say live streaming video has increased 130%, wherein video on demand has increased 30% already in just the last year because of video. So now it's pros and cons for business. The first thing is that you can now play to play, you know, and just use your brains over budget to capture attention, be authentic, build those quick relationships. The cons are there's more competition out there. So the people that couldn't afford those things before, so they weren't really marketing or advertising or maybe reaching as many people, they now can if they're just more creative than the last person.
They've been given an avenue.
Exactly. They have an avenue to do this with, you know, it's here and with lots of eyeballs. So that's the first thing for business. You have to embrace it when it's here. Think of what that means for your business and how you can tell the story in the best way for your brand with being transparent. It's different rules with video, live streaming video. It's not the polished production, but it is a storytelling in a creative, authentic way. It still can be an educational or entertaining or set yourself as expert, but it doesn't have to be as advertising as it was before.
Yeah. Now, you know, again, I was talking history earlier, so let me just kind of run through a few things here, and then maybe we can get to. I'd like to get to uses too that small businesses have. I think that can still be a gap point. But like I said, March 2015, you have Meerkat on the mobile phone as an app, and soon after that, you have Periscope, which is then now owned by Twitter. And so you could do, you know, a single live stream from a mobile device and get an audience in. Those types of things were kind of the initiators of it. What was it? August of last year was when Blab Platform One right now was launched, and
right.
So you have this shift. You know, those were some of the big live video type platforms, and then, as we said, with Facebook Mentions, and then earlier this year, Facebook rolling that out to profiles, pages, and then lastly groups. So there's been evolution of those along the way. There's been shifts, and you know, people say, well, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be in all these places? Am I supposed to be, you know, some people have tried to live stream in multiple places at one time, but you know, like Meerkat's kind of shifted and kind of faded out of the picture then. And Periscope is there. They've had more Twitter integrations, but is your audience there? That's kind of the key question. You know, where's your audience spending time? Your demographic.
That's what I was going to ask. As we're talking about these different platforms, I was trying to look it up here. But do you know the demographic on Periscope right now with the integration with Twitter? Do you know who that audience is specifically on Periscope? If people are going to pick kind of, I can do one really well instead of spreading myself and doing them all.
Yeah, well, I think it's still strong in that 25 to 35 where Twitter is strongest. So there's been a key tie. Like heavy Twitter users are more key Periscope users. You know, and then
that's still going strong. Meerkat's kind of pivoting, not doing it anymore, but Periscope's still going strong. A lot of, I would say, thought leaders, kind of solopreneurs I've seen on there. Have you seen a lot of brands on there?
Not, I mean, there's some, but again, big brands kind of thing. So I think you always have to you know, caveat that. There's been some others on Periscope. It's just a matter of, you know, they might have started out there, but do they stay there then? We're still on this early frontiers because we're trying to figure out what works, where your audience is going to be. And as some of these other ones roll out, I think you're seeing some shifts. So I think there's some drop off with Periscope, with Facebook rolling it out so easily and heavily. So I think that's a piece. Now we got to watch, because it was just in June that you know, YouTube rolled out a live option as well. So now I haven't heard a lot of buzz about that, except for that first kind of week when it was announced. But again, there's another player in it, you know, and they're trying to. YouTube obviously has a massive base overall itself, but I think that we're still in this shifting zone. Where are people going to consume it, and that's kind of based on what's most comfortable to them. That's what's going to rise to the top. And so, you know, Facebook's got a strong case right there.
And I think for Periscope, it was because of that 24-hour, your video lives and dies, you know, that unless you kind of saved it, or I don't know all the ways that you can kind of save it and repurpose it. But that kind of turned some people off when there was another option to do your live streaming and keep it forever. Then people are like, hey, I got an hour of my time. Do I want an hour where it's dead in 24 hours? Or do I want that hour, you know, to live on? Not that all video lives on after you do it. I mean, I think Facebook still, you know, after 24 hours kind of gone from the newsfeed unless it gets revived or somebody engages with it. However, it's still there to kind of go back to and have as a reference point.
So I think that, the shifts, you know, what features do you have? What can you do with it? All those pieces are still key and still being, you know, in transition to what will be. But the reality is that people are consuming it, as your stats are saying there. People are enjoying it, and we need to begin to find ways to kind of open up our business to that, so that people can see us. And instead of that, you know, it's you know, I don't know what you can liken it to. I mean, it's like somebody coming into your store, your retail location or whatever, and you interacting with them. This is just opportunity for one-to-many of that, the one-to-many interaction. And I think that businesses are still trying to find ways, but you can start with pretty simple things to introduce your audience and, you know, maybe some ideas and why it's beneficial. Which one do you want to go for first?
So let's go through some ideas on how to use it and maybe the video platform that it kind of corresponds with the
Okay.
most. Because I think there's some differences when you're talking about YouTube having the live streaming. I think where people have steered away from that, if they have, you know, the ones that have chosen to kind of steer away from that, is that still YouTube is felt to have needed a better video production quality and audio and just more professional feel to it, I would say, or polished. Polish is a better word for sure. So I think some people have not went the YouTube route because they feel like it's more kind of a laid back place to share on Facebook or Periscope or some of
Facebook
the
was
other
your
tools like that.
friends, and so you can kind of go live and just be who you are, kind of thing. Where
Yep.
that's true. Where YouTube, you kind of you have a history of going to watch a video, something that somebody put up
Right.
there. Yeah,
And people forget that YouTube has a social media element to it too. You know, I mean, you have subscribers and there's comments, and you can comment on others and you can post updates on YouTube, but you don't see that being done as often. You know, so you may like a video, but you don't think of it as a conversational kind of back and forth on YouTube like you do on Facebook and Periscope and some of the others, where you get that instant notification because that's where your friends are hanging out and being subscribed to you there.
yeah,
Versus on YouTube, your subscribers are more sometimes there's a lot of people you may not even know
yeah.
that are being subscribed to you.
Well, and I think let's talk about findability. I mean,
Sure.
so findability is key. I mean, people, how are people going to find it, intersect with it? And, you know, so again, with Periscope, largely someone's gonna have to make you aware of that. You're gonna have to have downloaded the app. You're gonna have to follow somebody. You're going to have to be on Twitter and, you know, have that kind of access to do that. So again, smaller user base than Facebook. And then with Facebook, they're really making it a priority in the newsfeed and the algorithm. I mean, the alerts that go out for when you're a fan of a page, when you go to the newsfeed and something live is at the top of the feed, just incredible visibility to it.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely think at the end of the day, Facebook's going to win the live streaming kind of battle just with all they've incorporated with it, especially because the searchability, usability, like you said, with Facebook, the ease of use, and the different applications that you can use Facebook Live within. So Facebook Live rolled out, I want to say it was 4 months ago, to Facebook live streaming to groups, Facebook live streaming to events, Facebook live streaming on all the brand pages, business pages, and to personal pages. So now you have multiple different avenues to live stream to a select audience group. You can also pick who you live stream to from your friends if you have them kind of separated. You can show it just to one-off people. You can show it to many. You can also, you know, do the video within your messenger. But the live streaming application, I mean, to groups, that's powerful. So if you have a coaching business, if you have a group of just your team, or maybe it's before a conference, you've created a group, you can live stream just within that group. Same thing with events, you know, meet the speakers, live Q&A, whatever it is, right there within that group. That's powerful.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, let's just be honest. So we're going out on the limb and saying, hey, Facebook's got an upper hand here. I think for the masses, it does. You know, it's they've done it well. They've made it easy, and it seems to flow within the platform. People are consuming it, and they've just made it easy. So be aware of that, folks. I mean, you do need to look at where your demographic is spending time, but I think Facebook's going to be a player. And for yourself, I think that you need to be aware that Facebook is, you know, that platform where just about every major demographic and definitely every major buying demographic is represented on that platform. So it is a place where you can intersect with people.
Exactly. And you want to talk about MSRQD, kind of what the latest update with Facebook is?
Yeah. Now this was a acquisition by Facebook also this year. So they bought this company, MSQRD. RQD, and I'll let you. You want to go into the details? I've made a few funny
Sure.
faces with it, but I won't. I won't steal. Go ahead and go.
So MSRQD, I think you said it right. Actually, the first time it was, it's an app that you can download on your phone, and it first had like the funny masks and stuff. And I think they may have had it before even Snapchat had some of the features. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can put different faces and masks on. You can do different audio, different things within this app. Now, Facebook is incorporating that with Facebook Live. So you can kind of get all dressed up and make it entertaining with some images and apps right within your Facebook Live, some background filters, that kind of thing. But also they're going to use this kind of intertwined to have Facebook group live streaming. So not just me live streaming, but it could be me and Mike live streaming together. That hasn't fully rolled out to everyone. It hasn't, I think there's maybe a couple people that I've heard that's even tried it out and used it, but you're going to be able to do co-broadcast Facebook Live, which is,
and that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I think we'll see a huge shift of people switching over.
Yes.
If they were using something else, like Blab on today. Unfortunately, this is kind of phasing out. Unfortunately, Blab, you can't build a successful model always on free. And Blab has decided to do another app that they're investing in, and they're focusing more on millennials and that younger target demographic. So we'll actually be transitioning off of Blab after today's show,
folks.
Which, this is the last one, to another live streaming application that will allow us to broadcast across Facebook and YouTube and this site all simultaneously. There's other applications like this. Oops, let me not put that link in there. Apologize. Let me delete that. Post the actually correct link. Thank you. But you can broadcast them to all three networks at the same time. You can also put it onto your blog and broadcast there. Have it responsive because they say 30% of video is consumed from a mobile device, which is huge. And so this app will allow us to continue going with magnet marketers, but on a different platform, because Blab is kind of shutting down a little bit.
Basically, you got to go where the people are, and you got to go where you can get the best audience. And we know that we want to do it together. That's what Magnet Marketers is, and we know we need to get to Facebook because that's where our people are at. And so it's just finding those tools, and this is that avenue that's opened up for us. So we got to go test that. We got to move that way. It's about adapting and things. But let's go into some practical ideas. I mean, we're both from communities that got a lot of manufacturing, that type of thing, and so there's retail, there's manufacturing. And, live video, you don't have to get, super complicated with it, but, people like to see the what's happening behind the scenes, so I'm in the recreational vehicle capital of the world. We make the most here of any county per capita in the United States. And I keep talking to my guys, RV World, and they need to take that plunge, but it's to show people a little bit of the production process, the floor, what's happening there, and I'm getting ready. I'm talking with one of my builder clients that builds commercial buildings. I'm saying, we can go live on this thing and just do a little tour, a little interview type thing. I mean, think of things for that for realtors, just to be able to take the open house live to announce it's there, show some key features of the home. So the retail store, it's whatever you got. You got the Saturday special, something event going on there. You can just do a little bit of live stuff with that, and ask the people a few questions, and really it can take that to a whole nother level. So those are simple little things that you can do, whether it's a cafe and it's the different bagel of the day or the different coffee of the day. It's taking what you might have done with an image previously and now just expanding upon it with a little bit of live video time.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you mentioned, the how-tos, the, the tours, the how it's made kind of thing. Those are all great video ideas. You can also do one-off, like, videos talking about, hey, ask us anything, ask the brand. You have a question on social media, we want to answer it for you. We just rolled out this new white paper, we want to tell you about it and put it out onto live streaming. Also, if something's happening big within your office, we had somebody that just had a book release, they're talking about their book and what's in it. And if you're having an open house, like you mentioned, or if there's maybe there's a party or a celebration going on within your office, live stream it. Let people feel like they're a part of the action and that they're hanging out with you right then and there.
Yep. So lots of uses for that, but think how-tos, think help, think little interviews of some of your key team members, the production manager, the marketing director, the president, somebody on the floor that, the key things that are going on. I think of, make sure you showcase when your company is doing the human things, when they're taking the day out to serve the community, or, those types of pieces, when you got the intern in there for the summer, those types of things. It's to show a little bit of the humanity of it. That's what social media is doing. That's what businesses need to continue to evolve and understand.
Yeah. And if you're ever in doubt on whether it's a good live streaming opportunity or not, we always use this with creating content. And it's a great checklist kind of mentally to go through to say, is this something worth live streaming about? So do the 4E checklist. Is it going to educate your audience? Is it going to engage them in a way that they feel connected to you? Is it going to highlight expert tips, or that you know more in your industry than maybe a competitor or something, that you're highlighting your expert abilities? Or is it entertaining? So is it something that's going to get some emotions out of your broadcast? If you use one of those 4 E's, you definitely can promote something and use it hopefully to draw in more business, but you don't want it to only be a splash sale or only be whatever. Same rules apply with traditional content other than video.
Yep. That's good stuff. So, that it's a changing game, folks. Live streaming has evolved. It's still shifting, but you're hearing it here first, that Facebook's going to be a key player in this. It is adapted well, and it's something for your business to really take a look at experimenting with.
Yeah. And I think one of my favorite uses of Facebook Live is actually going to be within groups and events, and not even outside of the page, because I feel like, and I'm going to find this blog post where we talk about Facebook groups, but I feel like groups is that nice addition to add that extra bit of value in addition to your actual just Facebook page. And I feel like groups, you can do this live streaming in there now, and it's really going to help create a more intimate community. So if you are a coaching business, or if you are a business that you want to really build a really intimate group of individuals that you can really connect with faster, and get everybody to kind of communicate back and forth and stay in touch, groups can be a great way to do that. So I think it may have been you or Christian in a previous conversation had mentioned that they use Facebook groups for a select handful of their clients. So they use it to keep in touch with kind of their VIP clients, if you will, where they're asking them feedback on things. So it could be even a live streaming video where you're like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. We really want to hear what you guys think about it, and rolling it out in this way, instead of just asking, they can see your reaction, they can hear the tone of your voice, they can really feel a lot more connected to you. So it could be a great way of doing it with existing clients too, to help strengthen that bond.
The travel industry, it's just unbelievable, what you can do there, and what I've seen with some of them. I think of Lisa Monk's in Australia, she's in Cairns there, and it's just like tropical paradise. And I just like, oh my word, I want to go. When it, whenever she goes live, I see
Yeah.
these things. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. You live there, that you see that every day. And,
Yeah.
I'm just drawn in, and she's just kind of demoing how, resorts and even the local community. I mean, we're talking parks that look exotic to me,
Right. Yeah.
and so she's just showcasing this, and it's a wonderful use of a live video. And recently, our friend Tyler Anderson, Casual Fridays, was in South Florida, Miami area, I think, and again, they're representing some hotels down there. They're helping them with their social media, and so he's going live, from their beachfront. He's going live when he takes, jet ski out, these different things, and you're just like, your mouth waters. You're just salivating at what you see there, and you have to comment. You want to interact with that because it's just you're there. He's doing it, and you're like, oh.
Josh from Post Planner was actually live streaming while he was on a motorized scooter or skateboard, excuse me. And he's going down these windy roads on this skateboard and talking about in San Francisco, talking about things that were coming out on his blog. But you couldn't look away. Like you were like, oh my God, is he going to die right now? Like, is he going to get hit by a car? Is he about to jump some curbs? What is he doing? But it was so engaging. And I mean, this video, I would have to go back and see how many views it had, but I know that there was over 200 people watching when I was watching, and he's talking about a blog post that's coming out, but he did it in a way that was so engaging that, it really draws people in. Terrence here locally has used it to live stream some of the baseball game that's going on, get people in the action, see what it's about, and remind them, hey, there's some sports going on here that you want to come out and support. But there's so many different ways of using it that can be so engaging for just everyday kind of life things.
Yep.
But yeah, the tourism industry, I mean, the 4th of July, with the just people just live streaming, even fireworks and all of that. I mean, you really get a sense of kind of here's what their day's like,
right.
Here's what they're up to, and you can really want to be a part of it. But yeah, Lisa, every time she shares, I'm like, I want to go wherever you're going.
Yeah. Yep.
The conferences too, social media day, San Diego. I know Tyler was live streaming. We had some live streaming at our social media week, but you really get that the people that have the fear of missing out, the FOMO as it's called, you can participate. I sat back and watched every presenter, even though I couldn't go to San Diego. I was able to be a part of the action and still be able to participate in the tweets that were going on and be part of that community.
Right. Yeah. So the game is changing, folks, and you need to, take a look at what you need to do here. And I mean, we're doing it right now. I mean, we're telling you, this is it for Blab. I feel, some kind of sense of sadness for that. But also I'm excited to move to Facebook, where I know I've got lots of people there ready to interact. And that's just, what I'm looking forward to.
Exactly. So before we wrap it up, I want to just give a couple quick tips on things to do if you're going to go live, because we're saying you need to do it. Just a couple reminders, kind of best practices. Do you want to share one first, Mike?
Say that question again.
So best practices when doing live streaming.
Okay. I think, it's simple things. So just be aware of your background, and you got to keep background noise to a minimum. So you still want to find a good spot, a good location, and something that's not too busy in the background or lots of distracting things. And then the noise, the clarity has to be good. So those are just basics there. A third thing I think is that you got to give it enough time, because when you go live, there's, one of the things is to alert people when you're going to, so that there can be a prep time, or you can even send out, the more that gets advanced, hopefully you can be able to send out links to that, but at least alerting them, going to be live at 4 o'clock, that type of thing. And know that it could take a little while to get rolling.
Yep. And I definitely think some of the tools that you can use, if you are going to live stream and you're going to do this on a consistent basis, it may be a smart idea to invest. There are mics that you can plug into your phone case, into your phone, like a lapel or even like a little boom mic that plugs in at the bottom to give you that better audio, because audio does still matter. If nobody can hear you, they're still not going to watch. And then also, if you're like me and you have that shaky hand, or even if you don't, after about 15 minutes, you will. There's little things that you can buy. Actually, I have one sitting on my desk here that you can get on Amazon for about under $20, and you can tie this around anything. You can adjust it how you want. It has a light kind of attached to it. This is by Livestream, but there's many of them out there that you can, kind of put your phone in and set it, turn it on, and have your hands free, especially if you're like me and you're a hands talker.
Yeah.
It can get kind of dangerous.
Well, I just think in general, I just think in general, that's just good to have a little tripod type thing. I mean, those Gorilla ones, start at, $15-16 kind of thing. So that's just a good thing to have for your smartphone, and that you can use for your smartphone. Just pop it in there, and that way just to get a little more steadiness. So steady is important as well.
Yep. Lighting tips too. Don't go with the camera facing the window. If you don't have lighting that you can purchase or that you have set up and the lighting's kind of off, you can go in front of a window, but have the window kind of in front of you, so it's shining in within your tripod or whatever set up to give you that good lighting. I've seen a couple videos where it's live streaming and they have a window behind them, so they're kind of all shadowed out and it's really hard to see. So you want to make sure that you take a look at the lighting a little bit in the audio, but also then look at your video analytics too. So if you're doing live video and you're consistently doing it, are people, take a look and see how many people are watching, how long they're watching for, if they're subscribing to you after, is it getting engagement that you're hoping for? So you can make sure that you're using your time wisely and what's effective. I've not heard kind of the final answer, if there is a final answer for Facebook, since we're really promoting that, like what the perfect or preferred time would be for a live streaming video.
You mean like time of day?
Yeah. No, I mean like time. So like, should it be 5 minutes long? Should it be 20 minutes long?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's still trying to be determined. I will say that they've said, you definitely have to plan to go longer than 2 minutes kind of thing. So, because that's just kind of a warm up time period to getting people in, can be that first 2 minutes, but then it's kind of based on your audience. But I've seen, up to the 10 to 20 minute kind of realm in there. So I think we have to kind of wait and see what that sweet spot is. But, somebody should just start and play with, I think you should probably play with a minimum of 10 minutes. And, maybe you want to try one that's in that 20-minute realm and just see kind of what kind of reactions you get. Right.
Yeah. What I've been telling clients for right now is just go for as long as you have value and engagement, but if you see that it's kind of winding down and you're not really sure what to talk about after 5 minutes, it could be a good time to wrap it up. But if you still are getting a lot of engagement and questions and you're 15 minutes in, go another 5 minutes. But I wasn't sure if there had been some research done that says, hey, the optimal time is 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think that's still too early on, but we'll watch for that. I'm sure that's got to be coming.
Perfect. Well, Mike, we go through an hour in like an hour, but it just goes fast.
But this is different because this is it on Blab. So, wow, here we go. And we make sure you got to join us at the link that Jessica posted over there.
Yep. And I'll post it again here. We're going to be talking about Facebook changes that you need to know. I feel like this topic comes up a lot, but it's because they've changed and evolved so much over the past year. I know they've evolved a lot over, the past decade that they've been evolving, but right now within the past year, they've made a lot of changes, especially for business and business pages, and what they've incorporated. Like we just touched a little bit on video, but there's a lot more that has changed and evolved. So we want to go through some of that, and we'll be able to screen share on this new platform. So we'll be able to actually show you some of the features that you can get set up on your business page during our training. So it's a game changer when you can actually go through and demo it.
Excellent. Looking forward to that.
Yes. So thank you so much for your time, Mike. Thank you all for joining in this week of Magnet Marketers, where we help you become a magnet with your marketing versus being a bullhorn. As always, I hope you guys have a great week. And Mike, see you next week.
See you next week. Goodbye, Blab.
Goodbye, Blab.
Oh.
A moment of silence for Blab.